Good morning. So, I wanted to get back on the mat and focus on a practice that felt intuitive. I know a lot of us that have practiced for a while, that can come easy. Some of us that are learning the postures and the breath practices might need some encouragement or inspiration. I definitely turn to other teachers for that as well. So for me, having incense or Palo Santo really sets the tone for wherever I am. It's like this little part of my practice is like, okay, this is what I'm engaging in. That whole be here now sensation, arrive, work with the senses so that there is this sweet moment of going within. Obviously, some good music, setting up the environment. Luca willingly slept in his kennel. So, returning to the breath, always returning to this sweet space of breath practice. Just letting it all be. The body, the mind, the heart space. Nice. Om. Resonating in the sound vibration. So important with my own healing journey. Yoga and music, sound, breath, silence, meditation. I remember prepping for this practice and wanting to make my back feel better. Always and forever, the energy center of the spine. So starting out with a little alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. Getting prepared, resting the peace fingers in between the brows, using the pointer and ring finger to gently move from side to side, bringing the pad of the finger gently to the nostril, breathing in, clasping both, exhale, releasing through the other side, feeling that sweet moment of the prana breath, just holding it in, exhaling. I practice until I feel like I need to rest my shoulders and my head and neck from holding the position. So many benefits to pranayama practice. I usually fuse in a couple practices in my hatha yoga practice. I'll even do this while working on my laptop when I need a little brain refresher. So again, practices to make the back feel good. Remembering the energy center all through the spine. Seated cat-cow, always one of my favorites. Hinging, hanging on with the knees. Rolling forward and back, a lot of the times I'll just close my eyes to pay attention, to focus. Nice rolling spine, interweaving the breath, letting it move into those spaces that feel sticky, stuck. Nice fluid rotation of the torso, rooting into the sit bones, taking it in the opposite direction. So, like I mentioned before, there's this space where you start to move intuitively, increasing the breath. So here again, moving the breath into my body. Nice increase with an inhale, lifting the hands up. Nice exhale, taking it forward. So, giving some love to the back. Spinal roll-ups or roll-downs, definitely a Pilates yoga move. I was very fortunate to work at Studio B Pilates in Corpus Christi under Mariah and Leah's guidance. These are things that I've taken into my yoga practice continually to keep my spine healthy. So inhale deeply for the roll down, planting the feet, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae down, lengthening like long bamboo, creating the strength with the breath, and then resting. So the roll up to the roll down, however many you want to embark on. So any work on the floor with bringing blood and oxygen around the muscles of the spine, so helpful, so benefit to let gravity totally just nurture the back. So I'm hugging one knee at a time, letting the curvature of the back be very natural to the ground. Again, utilizing that nice belly breath, deep inhale and exhale. Rocking from side to side, again, sending these sweet messages to my back, since the core and the back do a lot of work for us. Standing, sitting, walking, running, exercising, all of it. So I'm just rolling on my back here, massaging those muscle tissues around the spine, coming into plow. So bending the knees in plow, totally acceptable. Trying to feel just how it is to have that pressure on the upper thoracic and shoulder area. The windshield wiping of the knees. I practice this all the time. I would say my hips and my low back are probably the areas of my body that call for the most attention. So you will see me offering this in class. And a lot of the practices that move my asanas is very much center, all that focus from the center. So here I like to work my legs a bit Another Pilates move, that full circle coming back to center. Trying to keep stabilized while moving the leg around in a circle. Doesn't have to be super big, but you feel the circumference of what the leg can do. Nice breath in, pivoting back to the center. In the cycle, the reps is up to you. Usually I try to go 5 to 8 to 10, depending on my energy. And here again, some movement of the spine. So rowing the boat, quote unquote. I think the yard man was definitely making a bunch of noise. I can tell. So lengthening the legs, action in the feet, nice strong center inhale, roll forward, grab those imaginary oars, pull up, spinal rolls. Just bringing some flexibility into it, even though this may feel restricted at times. As you move, as you breathe, it feels yummy, really. Taking it into bound angle, breathing deep, conscious of the body, conscious of the breath. Little forward folding. Taking time to just notice and be with your body and mind has incredible benefits. This is the yoga, the yoking, the uniting. Better to prepare for longer meditation, concentration in other areas of life, conscientiousness, the state of feeling conscious. So, I have to admit, this is super uncomfortable for me, but such a good hip mobility stretch. So, I move from side to side. Obviously, I'm feeling really rigid here, and I just keep moving. I move forwards and to the sides, stretching out through my side body, just going where I can go, and really just trying to sit with that uncomfortableness. All right, taking it to the other side. I think, again, the weed whacker was doing all kinds of noise back there. So, flipping to the other side. Little life reality going on, always. So again, feeling pretty rigid, but so needed to just stretch around that whole hip socket and all the muscles that attach from femur into hip bone. So making sure I just move from side to side, gently sway, try to let my body feel the posture, noticing, working with it all. And so again, these videos are just to inspire, encourage, set it up for yourself, go to public classes, go to the park, set up a space in your house, invite yourself to really just make time for yourself. It's not so bad. So I'm just moving from side to side here again, just working with my hip mobility, just trying to find that nice suppleness around the tissue of the hip. And good old downward dog. So just feeling it out after all that floor work. Always trying to even out. So here, coming into three-legged dog, I'm just doing a little bit of core action. Lifting up through the foot, bringing the knee towards the center, and planting into pigeon. So bringing the love and the action back to the back. Working the foot close to the body or away, and then lengthening the back foot. So you want the hips to be somewhat parallel, and hold your body upright. If it feels awkward, you could always take a block, rest it underneath where your forehead would go. You could stand it tall. And here I'm just, again, wanting a little bit of mobility in my hips, so doing a little bit of movement there, wiggling out that leg, little three-legged chaturanga. And taking the opposite side, so warming up the core center, lengthening three-legged dog, knee to center, pulsing, and then eventually setting the leg down for pigeon. Moving the feet, so constantly always adjusting in the postures, right? That is a constant. And your body is not the same every single day, so each day take a little bit of an inventory, a little bit of a body scan. So many variations of pigeon. Here I'm taking a wide angle with my arms and just doing a little bit of movement so I can open up through my psoas, have an open chest, and just breathing with it all. Acceptance of where we are and where we are going. Nice little chaturanga action to cobra up dog, back into child's pose. So here I'm coming into a low yogi squat and preparing to come to standing. So working my arches, kneeling, but also staying tall in the posture. Hands at heart center, remembering my intention, lengthening and finding the heart. All right, standing series. Centering, breathing, mountain pose, Tadasana. Root into the earth, stand tall. Nice sweep with an upward salute. Exhale into forward fold. I believe I take my hands underneath the feet. So this is an elaborate movement into your forward fold, into Uttanasana, which I believe this is a different word in Sanskrit, but leaning onto the tops of the hands and wiggling the fingers underneath and just letting that space be as you fold. As I lengthen my leg up, I'm just moving with the hips in my forward fold, extending out, setting the foot down, taking the other leg up, again in a forward fold, just bringing the leg up and knee in. Again, lots of hip movements, and coming into a modified malasana or garland, sitting in it, opening up the arms like the wings of a bird, little variation in the modified garland. Here I attempt to bind, opening up through the shoulders. So wide span of the arms, and then gently wrapping them behind me to attempt a nice little lock, bind, and then coming into crane, I believe. Crow is a little different, setting the knees on the back of the triceps. That's totally optional. I just kind of went with it. So again, folding, rise, heart center, moving and grooving, organic movement. Welcome any of that if that starts to come through your practice. Welcome anything organic in your body. And a little bit of standing balance. So root through the feet, hands at heart center, nice deep breath, Anjali Mudra, heart mood. I'm going to hug my knee and roll my foot around. Practicing both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm going to hold that knee, open up the hip, concentrate, and extend my leg for an extended angle of the legs in tree. And then a little half lotus, setting the foot on top of the opposite thigh. Nice deep breath. Focusing, lengthening that leg out, and then starting to come into warrior 3. So I pivoted my body so you could see where I was going. A little half moon variation. So this feels so good to my hip flexor. I can't do it every day, but definitely try to give it a chance when I am feeling like it. So again, half lotus, tree variation, bringing it back to focus. Recenter, go into the opposite side, hug the knee, roll the ankle around. Nice deep breath. Open up through the knee, hang out. Then lengthen that leg by grabbing calf, toe, or arch. Extended leg in tree pose. Nice deep breath. Moving my foot to the top of my opposite thigh for half lotus, tree variation. And just playing with the movement, sweeping sideways to warrior 3, flowing into half moon and getting into a variation by hanging onto the heel or the foot, opening that hip flexor. Feels so good. Coming into plank, letting go. Nice fluid vinyasa to cobra and child's pose. That sweet child's pose. Giving love to the whole body by just taking time to to take care of the body. So hero's pose, something for me that helps me center and ground. Sit the hips on the heels. Concentrate on breath practice. Coming to seated. I'm just letting my legs flex out for a second and coming into spinal twist. Make it back to the ground, completely relaxed. Noticing anything, the present moment, the way the spine feels, the root of the sit bones. Opposite side. Again, to concentrate, to center. Even in the home, there can be distractions, but just bringing it back to center. Even in meditation, when you feel yourself being pulled out, drawn out by the external world, bring it back to center. So, for example, my dog. It wouldn't be a complete yoga experience without my big baby dog needing my attention. So, case in point, bringing it back to center. Such a sweet space to be able to just enjoy, take time for yourself. Much love and peace. Thanks for watching.